You see that guy picking up the camera and tripod ready to make another one of his pointless review videos? That guy right there? That's me. Now you may be asking yourself, why so depressed? Why so serious? Well, where do I begin? Monday morning, 2 weeks off college, yay! In preparation for my next review video, the review video you're watching right now. You know, making a script for these videos isn't easy. First you need to watch the film, and then memorise anything you can from it, and then type what you thought about the film in an empty Word document. It may seem pretty simple, but when you've got a mind like mine, everything's difficult. A week in preparation, I couldn't sleep. Not one word typed. I had nothing. You see, with insomnia, nothing's real. You watch reviewers like the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic and want to review films like they do, but everything seems far away. Danny. Hey. Tyler, how's it going? So you're looking good. You doing anything right now? Fancy coming in for a drink? I don't know, I really gotta be somewhere. Come on, quick drink. So I heard you make like YouTube videos now. How's that going? It's going. It's certainly going. When's the next one out? Soon, hopefully. Oh yeah? Well, how much have you written of it? Not one word. Shit, man. What'd you see? Huh? What will you be reviewing? Limitless? Oh, shit, man. Any good? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Well, there you are. What? It was pretty damn good. That's your review, and just go on from there. How hard is it to write a review for a film anyway? I just can't focus. I sit by my desktop with an empty Word document, and nothing comes to my head, you know. I just can't concentrate. Well, I suppose I can help you with that. Still selling drugs? Come on. No, listen, this will help you concentrate. How so? You know that people say we can only access 20% of our brain? Well, this lets you access all of it. Oh shit, you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. It's had clinical trials and it's FDA approved. Okay, just out of curiosity, and that's all. What's in it? A pill. No, I mean, what's in the pill? Look, it doesn't matter what's in it. All that matters is it works. Take it, man. Just take it. Right then and there I was thinking about all the effects this could have. We have an unknown, possibly dangerous drug given to me from an unreliable person I haven't seen in years. So you interested? Yes, absolutely. Typically taking any drug, you think about what could happen if you become addicted. But if Tyler was right and it allowed me to access all of my brain, then I'm sure I'd think of something. I waited a while, just thinking that it was a palm violet or some form of sweet. And then it hit me. I was blind and now I see. Thoughts flashing through my head, memories of my childhood I thought were long forgotten. And that's when I realised one thing. I got vocab. Jumped straight into action, typing till my fingers went numb. I wrote this review video in 10 minutes, but I thought to myself, why stop there? I kept typing, knowing that at least once this pill wore off, I would have enough written material to last a few months. 10 straight hours, coffee cup upon coffee cup upon coffee cup, until my desktop started looking like a fucking china shop. My ass cheeks felt like I'd been dry humped by King Kong, but I didn't care. I just kept typing and typing and typing until I couldn't move my fingers anymore. Until I became so exhausted that I couldn't get off my chair. Until the pill wore off. Until it happened. And that brings us to where I was at the beginning, or the end, whatever way you look at it. This is some serious Back to the Future shit going on right here. I couldn't remember anything that happened the previous day. My fingers were stinging like I had just fingered a Cheerio. I kept looking around the room to see if I'd left any clue or sign as to what happened. The computer was off. There was no sign of me working on anything handwritten. I looked for tattoos or post-its, Anything. No clue. No fucking ounce of evidence to say I was working on my computer at all. Was it a novel I had in mind? Was I trolling people on 4chan again? Was I typing up my next movie review video I had planned for so long? Who knows? I thought it was about time to get my shit together, write a quick draft for the next movie review, and just improvise the rest. Well, here goes.
From 12,000 to 2.3 million in 10 days.
I'm baffled by this guy.
So, Eddie Mora, you do know you're a freak.
What's your secret?
Medication.
Okay, Limitless, I guess I'll start off with a storyline. Eddie Mora, a failed writer who, at the start of the film, breaks up with his incredibly attractive girlfriend and believes that his life is just going to stop. However, he meets an old friend of his sister, I believe, and gives him a pill which will make him become the perfect version of himself, which will allow him to access all of his brain because apparently we can only use something like 20% of it. Great concept. Great hook. Within the first 5 minutes, I already felt like I knew Eddie Mora for so long. From here on, he is just living the life. He writes his novel in 4 days, he learns all these other languages, starts going to these insane parties, becomes the smartest man on the planet, and ends up working for a businessman played by Robert De Niro. Now, all this stuff about the stock market and statistics in the film, I didn't really care for, probably because I don't understand it. That stuff just doesn't interest me, but that's not the film's fault, it's just me. I'm weird like that. The film isn't linear in a sense. It starts off with Bradley Cooper ready to jump off a building as people are trying to break into his apartment/bunker. And the rest of the film, until the last 20 minutes I'd say, is basically Bradley Cooper reliving the moments until he got up to where he is now. I don't want to ruin the whole thing and go through everything that happened. All I can say is go see this film, it was brilliant. The opening credits is one of the trippiest things I've seen. They do this thing called a fractal zoom, which I guess is similar to walking down the street and taking a picture every few feet. However, in the editing software they were using, they must have added a zoom effect and compiled it all together, and it takes you through the whole city, and it's just so trippy. There were other effects added to the film, similar I guess to Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, but not the comic book style and not to the same extent. I guess more like Fight Club than anything else. The effects consist mainly of just text appearing on the screen, similar to in Fight Club when Edward Norton walks around the room and he's going through all the stuff what he bought from IKEA and it has the prices. This just makes it more visually attractive and great to look at. Also in Spill.com's review of the film, they brought up Fight Club, which I can understand. It is somewhat similar, not as memorable I believe or as timeless. In 10 years time we won't be looking back at the film and consider it to be one of the greatest ever made. However, I do believe after watching this film a few times on DVD, it could make it into my list of favourite movies of all time. Surprisingly, although the film does get dark at times, overall it does feel fairly light-hearted. It's not so much a comedy movie, but I'm sure it will get the odd chuckle out of you. It does also have some action elements, not enough to actually put it in that genre, but similar to Fight Club, which, despite the title, there isn't an awful lot of fighting in there. As for Limitless, this is a personal recommendation of mine. I can't wait to see this again on DVD. Everything about it I loved, but I'm going to have to give it a 7.8 out of 10. The boys in the office will see you now. I'm here to pitch this idea to you guys. It's Warner Brothers. Okay, so yeah, there's this orphan girl who goes to this mental asylum after trying to kill her stepfather, meets these other hot chicks who try to escape. So she had this vision where she's in Japan and meets this old sensei guy who tells her what she'll need to escape and gives her a handgun and samurai sword, and she fights these 3 samurai warriors. Sorry, are these just normal samurai warriors? No, they can be like 20 feet tall and one of them can have a Gatling gun. Why a Gatling gun? Why not? So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. She tells the other girls in the burlesque house how they're going to escape and they need 5 items. Then she has this other vision with the girls where they're in World War One. They have to fight these steampunk Nazis and steal a map from a Freddy Krueger looking general. Then they go to this castle siege where they fight these orcs and kill a baby dragon to get 2 stones from his neck to light the fire. But the mother comes in, she's all pissed and starts spewing flames and shit. Then they must save this futuristic city from a bomb travelling on a train on flying tracks, and they must fight these horde of robots which we can just steal like out of iRobot or The Matrix or something. Then back at the burlesque house, the owner of the porno star starts shooting people and goes all crazy and shit. Then the girls start to escape and we can end with something like the only person who can free yourself is you, or something like that, I don't know. So yeah, that's all I got. What do you think? Oh! Well done. Very well done. We'll shred Christopher Nolan's contract for the next Batman film, man. I'm sure for Sucker Punch that was...
You're afraid, don't be, to reach your own paradise. Just let go. What you're imagining right now, you control this world.
Zack Snyder was paid $82 million from Warner Brothers and has lost his fucking mind. This is an anime fan's wet dream here. Dragons, orcs, robots, samurais, the works. And in all fairness, none of it really makes any sense. Okay, the film starts off introducing us to Baby Doll, an incredibly cute 20-year-old girl with pigtails played by Emily Browning, who almost kills her stepfather and is taken then to a mental asylum, which is a heterosexual man's dream. Hot babes in scantily clad outfits dancing, and that's all the film is really. It's good to look at, but nothing else. We do not get sucked into the story, the characters, or the action for that matter. It's like watching someone else play on a video game. As for the rest of the story, when Baby Doll is asked to dance, she sort of dozes off into this imaginary world, the first being in Japan, where she meets Scott Glynn, who says that she'll need 5 items to escape. And I have to say right now, he has some of the worst dialogue. At the end of each scene, he just says some cheesy ass line which has nothing to do with the storyline. It's like they said, oh hey, we've got Scott Glenn in this movie, let's just have him say some random shit. Next, when Baby Doll wakes up, everyone's stunned as though she gave the best performance ever. And we were stuck watching a CGI fight scene where she fights 3 giant Shogun warriors. What the fuck? He then tells the other girls in this sort of burlesque house how they will escape, which is just completely ridiculous in itself. And they agree to help out, and the rest of the film just follows a pattern. Imaginary fight scene, cut to burlesque house and pointless filler. Cut then to another imaginary fight scene, and then back to the burlesque house again with more pointless dialogue. There's no real explanation as to what's going on. It almost felt like Zack Snyder didn't know himself what the fuck was happening in this film. I found it pretty strange how at the start of the film, I really liked it. How it started with the song Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and she goes to the asylum, but then after the first fight scene, I couldn't give 2 shits about what was happening in the asylum / burlesque house. I just wanted more action scenes. These action scenes were great, for the most part, but Zack overused the CGI a little too much. I'm not a huge fan of CGI, but there were parts, most notably the fight scene on the train, where everything was CGI. The scene in World War I, however, was great because they were actually fighting real people and not just some CGI effect. The soundtrack, I have to say, is awesome. I mean, seriously, the songs picked fit the tone of the movie really well. But again, the scene on the train, it almost felt like they had taken the soundtrack straight off of Inception, because it was like, bam, bam. Like, that's what the Inception soundtrack sounds like, isn't it? Overall, I don't want to give the impression that this film sucked balls. For the most part, I actually liked it. But in a way similar to Tron Legacy, where it's good to look at, but there's not a lot of depth to everything. I had a fun time watching it, and come on, it's got dragons, orcs, World War I zombies, planes, robots, mecha suits, and hot chicks which I would gladly sleep with. Not one of Zack's best films, but still enjoyable to watch on the big screen. 6.8 out of 10.
Source code enables you to cross over into another man's identity in the last 8 minutes of his life.
At 7:48 this morning, a bomb exploded on a train outside of Chicago, killing everyone on board. A man named Sean Fentress was on that train. He is now you. Think, Captain, remember back. Who bombed the train?
I don't know who bombed the train.
Then try again.
Wait, no.
Fucking awesome. That's how I can describe this film. Fucking awesome. Now, this is a film directed by Duncan Jones, son of David Bowie. He directed the film 2 years ago, which didn't get seen by many, but those of you who did see it will know just how good a movie it is. This, on the other hand, is a film I believe more people will see, and deservedly so. For one thing, it's got more than one cast member, the lead being Jake Gyllenhaal, who is recognised universally for his movies. The storyline is fairly simple if you just go with it. There is a machine which allows someone to go into someone's body for the last 8 minutes of his life. Basically, the morning the film is set, a bomb exploded on a train heading for Chicago, killing everyone on board. And Jake Gyllenhaal plays an army helicopter pilot who enters the source code to become one of the passengers on the train before it exploded. He has those 8 minutes to find the bomb and ultimately find the bomber who plans on blowing another part of Chicago up. If you've seen Groundhog Day or Vantage Point, it's similar to that. At first, Jake Gyllenhaal hasn't got a clue what's going on. He suddenly wakes up in this man's body and is briefed when the train explodes for the first time by Vera Farmiga's character that plays one of the scientists, I guess, working on the source code. I don't care if she is old enough to be my mother, she is hot. Jake must relive those same 8 minutes, the same events what happened to find the bomber. However, the source code isn't a time machine. He creates another dimension which allows you to enter another man's body in the last 8 minutes of his life. So basically, if you save the people on the train in that last 8 minutes, they're still dead because it's set in the present time. Now that I've confused the hell out of you, I just want to say that this is a great film in every sense of the word. It doesn't get boring, even though Jake is reliving those same 8 minutes again. Each time he enters the source code, he gets closer to finding the bomber. As soon as the film starts, you will start to examine the passengers on the train as you try to find out the bomber before Jake's character does. Not to brag or anything, but the first time I saw the bomber, I knew it was him from the very beginning. And no, Bin Laden was not on the train. Truthfully, there was only one thing which pissed me off about that movie. Towards the end, when Jake enters the source code again and again, reliving the same 8 minutes, Duncan Jones chose not to show us what happens, which doesn't get the audience involved at all. He basically went, okay, we think you're getting a bit bored, so we'll just play like a montage of clips from those 8 minutes as he enters the source code about 3 more times, which just doesn't show you what's happening. And I was saying, well, why don't you show us, because I've paid to see it, and overall the film was fairly short anyway. It was only like an hour and a half. I was expecting this film to be at least 2 hours. The excitement builds and builds and builds until the very end, which seemed to slow the film down a bit. It ended similarly to Inception in that I came out still thinking about how it ended and tried to get my head around it. But truthfully, it wasn't as complicated as I thought it would be at first. And overall, this is just a brilliant film in every sense of the word. Check it out, if not in theatres, on DVD. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So that ends another review video, guys. Next video, I'll review Your Highness, Thor and Scream, which I'm going to see right now. Peace out, y'all.